We're live.
We are live.
We are live.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for mine and the SMF's and George's first ever live stream.
Potentially last.
Potentially last ever live stream. So I think obviously you all know why we're all here today, and it is to finally find out who has won the incredible Voron Phoenix. So we're going to delve into a bit of things, but first of all, let's just say a massive welcome to our VIPs who are with us today. Hello, guys.
Good morning.
Morning or afternoon or whatever time it is.
Exactly.
That's a very good point. We'd love to know where everybody's
All
signing
over.
in from. Yeah, so do pop them in the chat where you're signing in from. So either good morning, good afternoon, or good evening.
Yep.
So what we're going to do, so I'm just going to say a couple of things, and then we're going to hand over to the Voron design team, and they're just going to put some color to why this is such a unique and incredible printer. George is going to keep an eye on the comments. So if you've got any questions to put forward, please do put them in the comments, and if we can, we'll answer some of them. And then after a brief dive into the printer, I'll share my screen, and it is literally just hitting the button on to see, and it will pop up with a winner. We think we've never done this before, so we don't actually know what's going to happen. Might be a tumbleweed moment, but just to let you know, there's a chance our winner is not online with us today. So regardless whether you've won or not, you will get an email that confirms the status. So, and if you have won and happen to be online, please do stay on the chat and we can talk about logistics and things. But if not, I'll catch up with you afterwards. So, delving in, firstly, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to the Voron design team for creating a truly unique printer that they have then donated to the Sanjay Mortimer Foundation. I know a lot of people know what the SMF does, but just in a few sentences, we support neurodiverse young people that are passionate about STEM, focusing in engineering. So if you don't win today, you've still done an incredible thing by helping the foundation out, and your funds will go to support these people. And talking of funds, we are just blown away by the fact that we have raised $16,325. So thank you so much to everybody. Yeah, we're so grateful. So I think that's it really. I'm going to hand over to the Voron team to put some color. So get your questions in if you'd like to. Thank you, team.
Awesome. Where do we want to start, Doc? So Max isn't able to be here at least for the start of this. So we're going to do our best to fill in the gap.
Absolutely. And Steve, you want to kind of start with some of the backstory on Phoenix? Because I know you were involved in the V24 refurbishment and everything, so you might be able to speak to that better.
Yeah, so Voron Phoenix started as a commission project by Max back in 2017, I think it was. And he was contacted by a company that wanted a 24-inch cube print volume for their thing. I think it was an HVAC company, and they needed to do fixtures or something like that.
Yeah, intake rooms or something.
And so this is the printer that Max came up with. So 4 ball screws, floating gantry, large 600 millimeter square print bed, dual nozzles, Chimera or something similar on the tool head. And he produced it and shipped it out somewhere in the Midwest. Is that right?
Yep.
And it worked well for them for many years. And a few years ago, either the company went out of business or they stopped having a need for it. And they contacted the person who used to run it at that company and said, hey, you can take this. We have no use for it. And that person turned around and got a hold of Max and said, hey, I don't really have space for this. Are you interested in getting this back? They worked up a deal, and Max ended up getting it back. So the one and only Voron V24 in existence made its way back home. And Max started looking at it and deciding, hey, I can update this. I can get this up to modern printers printer standards. And he scrambled and managed to get a working single tool head setup going for Rocky Mountain RepRap Festival, the first one. And we had it there, and everybody saw the pictures with Nero or Taylor sitting in it. This is a huge printer. It is massive. And we had a working version there with a kind of soft announcement that this was going to become a publicly released design. Now, as with most Voron projects, it takes a very long time to get through a full public release. So the next time everybody saw this, though, was at the first Sanjay Mortimer RepRap Festival. And that's because a certain someone here decided it was a great idea. What about that, Doc?
Yeah, so speaking of Rocky Mountain, we were in the car driving back from an event, and I was riding with Max. And this was just about the time SMF and Smurf was going to be a thing. And so Max and I were talking like, hey, man, I kind of want to do something crazy for the Sanjay Mortimer Foundation. And this was once again in April, and we were looking at it. It was December or so. How hard could it be? Like, we should be fine.
Time in the world.
Perfectly fine. And I'm like, hey, could we take V24 and get even crazier with it and do something like IDEX or tool changing or something like that for a release, an announcement, and donate one to the Sanjay Mortimer Foundation at the first Smurf? And it seemed like a good idea at the time. It really, really did. And so, sure, why not? And I get home from that, and Max and I and a couple other folks start talking, and we start ordering stuff and parts and everything else. And and Steve was right there with us. And here's the thing a lot of people don't realize. I started building the Phoenix that appeared at Smurf on October 31st.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
I started wrenching on it on October 31st. And here's the other thing to remember. I had Thanksgiving here in the US the week before Smurf. So I basically had 2 weeks to go from a stack of parts to a functional printer to be crated up to then make its way to the United Kingdom. So needless to say, there was a little bit of last minute scramble involved with all of this.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a smooth process getting it to E3D, wasn't it, Doc?
Oh, absolutely. I mean,
Adam had a full
FedEx.
head of hair before he started. October 30th, full head of hair.
Yeah. So managed to get it built, minus the beds, and I'll come back to some of those stories too. And get it crated up, and FedEx is supposed to pick it up one day, and I was going to be leaving town the next. And what does FedEx not do? They don't even call. So needless to say, all right, we still got time. It's okay. It's the week of Thanksgiving. Everything will be fine. Let's just get a pickup schedule for the next day. FedEx comes, they pick it up. Great. It makes its way very quickly from where I am in middle of Alabama to the United Kingdom and lands at Stansted, which is a major UPS and FedEx hub in the middle of the United Kingdom, like an hour-ish from E3D's headquarters.
At least.
So anyways, the printer was supposed to arrive on Monday, and I was supposed to arrive in the UK on Tuesday. And thus I would have plenty of time to uncrate it, function check it, and then Max and Steve were arriving Wednesday, so we could have time to actually poke and prod at it and get it ready to go. And of course, what happens? It arrives on Thursday at like 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it was
so
late.
Needless to say, I may have like burned a pacing track back and forth into E3D's carpet upstairs, just bothering the member of their team who was working with FedEx, trying to figure out what was wrong. And that's when you guys saw on E3D's Twitter and whatnot, the uncrating of when it actually arrived and us moving it into E3D's break room to uncrate it and start poking at it. So needless to say, there was a sleepless night and then getting it to the venue the next day on Friday. which was also fun.
Yeah, sorry about
350
that. Second floor
Yeah.
venue. No access.
Yeah, second floor venue, 350 pounds worth of printer, stairs that are, older than America and worn smooth by time. I may have almost slipped and eaten it, moving that printer in at one point in time. So
Oh,
thankfully
sorry.
for health and safety, that didn't happen. But so yeah, that's we got it to the venue. But when we brought it to the venue and powered it up for the first time, that was actually the first time the beds had been energized. And one of the things we learned is it's really probably not a good idea to be doing wiring functional checks when you've got 25 other YouTubers all standing over your shoulders in E3D's break room. Just, so what are you doing now? So what are you doing now? So what is that? What is that? What's this
No
thing
way.
do? Because we may have crossed a wire at one point and blown an entire wall worth of breakers in Oxford because the ground and the neutral got swapped. So anyways, we got it fixed. The Phoenix that is there is totally operational. It has actually one of the original prototype Big Tree Tech Kraken controller boards in it. And so the Kraken product now was based on the discussions for what we would really, if we were kings for a day, want to drive a Phoenix. Has all the prototype machined parts, the Masumi frame, so the actual really nice frame. Well, you can't really get it anywhere. The stuff you need for the frame anywhere else right now. LDO prototype motors, LDO ball screws, the whole 9 yards, and then the most Gucci bling thing I could think of, which is Mandala Roseworks donated the central identifier plaque that's sitting at the top that is made out of billet CNC aluminum and then mirror polished. And that's the thing you see in the trailer picture or the teaser pictures and everything.
Mhm.
It's a good 2 to
Tiny.
3 pounds of just a brick of aluminum and hand polished, just absolutely gorgeous. So this was a labor of love, a fit of insanity, and it seemed like a really good idea at the time, and I regret absolutely nothing.
Aw.
And this is serial number 001.
Yes.
So we zero
So-
index our serial numbers. So Max has serial number 0. This is serial number 1, and the one I finally finished shortly after Smurf last year is serial number 2. So
Yep.
Yeah. What else is different or unique about this? That I'm just trying to think.
I think,
one-
Adam, you mentioned you were going to
yes.
upgrade it a little
Yeah.
bit. Is that right? Sorry.
Yeah, so there's a couple of
Cut you
things
off
between the original prototype and where we are today. And I'm not going to comment too much about where we are today on the Phoenix release because that's not in scope for this discussion. But there have been some changes between that printer and what we've got as what we think is going to be its final form. And I will work with whoever wins this to make sure they get access to all the revised machined parts they need, as well as any printed parts they may need to bring this up to spec. And if the winner lives here in the United States, I will handle getting it converted over to 110 volt capable because the printer right now is wired for 220. If you are somewhere else on the planet that runs on 110, and I don't know all the countries that do or do not, but you're not in the United States, I will figure out some way to get you taken care of. But I may not be able to fly out to come do that work for you. So there are some differences between what we showed at Smurf and what we showed at other events. But it is, once again, it is a fully functional rig. It works. It's just we found better ways to do things, and we will make sure that whoever gets this gets the final and best form if that's what they want. If they want this as a piece of history to sit in their living room or their office lobby or whatever, just as this clear piece of we wanted to be a part of this, then that's great too.
Someone mentioned in chat it might be easier to add a 220 line. And honestly, if somebody was winning this and had the capability of doing that, that would be the smart thing to do. Because right now, because the beds on this is about 2.4 kilowatts worth of power, full tilt.
Yep.
It does require a dedicated 20 amp American. So I'm talking about American. So a dedicated American 110 volt 20 amp circuit for just the beds. Then you run the rest of the printers off of another plug.
Yeah, and so total current draw on this thing, if everything is pulling at full tilt, would be roughly 3,100 watts because you've got dual 350 watt power supplies plus the 2.4 kilowatt draw from the beds. Because remember, it's 4 600 watt beds there.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's a beast.
I have a little bit of. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, some of the comments are saying that we could live in it. Or maybe we're sitting in it now and live streaming, which is.
You could be.
We really could be. I'm going to open the door
Yep.
and get out in a minute. Sorry, Steve, carry on.
I have a little bit of. So Phoenix was V24. Everybody knew Phoenix is V24 as it was around. We have a little, in our Discord, we have a little serial number. So Voron tracks builds by serial numbers. We've been doing this for a very, very long time. And when there's a little command in Discord that'll tell you how many serial numbers there are. And there's a V24 listed there, and there's one. Till now, there's the one that, and I think it hasn't been updated, so it still just says one, but it's the one that Max had. So it's always been listed as V24. Everybody knows it is V24. And I think even when we showed it off at Rocky Mountain Rep Festival, it was still V24. It's had an internal code name before it was released to the public as Phoenix. And I think we announced it as Phoenix at Smurf, that first year Smurf. So I'm wondering if anybody can guess what that internal code name might have been. And it's going to be very hard to guess. So I'm not going to wait very long on this. But
and the code name made me chuckle a little bit when we were talking about it, because as the code name, bringing it to the United Kingdom from the United States was amusing.
Is it something gun related?
Something very America related.
I'm not going to have any more guesses. I don't want to offend.
Good point.
We've got some good ones in the comments. Can you guys see those, Steve?
Good
Someone
job,
actually
Zombie.
got it.
Good job.
Someone's got
Zombie
it.
got it.
Liberty.
It's Liberty.
Ah.
This was referred to internally as Liberty up until it was changed to Phoenix.
Yep.
Zombie, did you have inside information on that? I need to know. I need to know.
Oh.
Someone else got guess Liberty too. But so the question is,
No, it was a
Kyle.
guess.
Yeah.
I see a Kyle.
So Phoenix was picked because V24 was the last project of MZBot, which was Max's side project that became Voron Design. And so V24 was the last project there, and then bringing it into Voron Design, and then taking the V24 and modernizing it and adding its capability set, took that originally V24 into something else. So it was the whole rising from the ashes concept brought forward with this design that is why we really settled on Phoenix as the name. We actually settled on Phoenix as the name in the same car ride where I discussed about, hey, let me take one of these to Smurf. So, yeah.
Right. Should we do it?
Should we do it? Should we press the big button?
ready?
We can
Okay.
still stay for chats after, and I mean, it'd be amazing if our winner was online. That'd be great. But yeah,
And-
I think. Yeah, go on.
I was just going to say, there are several members of the Voron team who have bought tickets to this, just as a disclaimer, because this is something we feel strongly about. I've bought tickets. I know Max has bought tickets. I know a bunch of people have bought tickets. However, we have the no influence in this or anything else. So it's going to be an absolutely true random draw. And yeah.
You sound like
Right.
you think it's going to be a Voron Design winner that gets drawn.
I have no clue, honestly, who's going to win it. And I'll be very happy with whoever wins it. I just wanted to get it out there in case they push the big red button and like your name gets popped out or Max's name gets popped out or something like that. Like we did not rig this.
It's actually quite an anticlimactic button
Yeah, I know.
that we get to press.
It is.
But Tudor will share her screen and you guys can
I'll share
do
the
it.
screen now.
I'll say my garage cannot take 2 of these. The one that I have is filling it up.
Zoom it in.
So that's can I zoom in? I don't think I even can. No. So we've so Georgia, I think you found this website, didn't you?
Yeah.
And so we've never done this before. And yeah, the SMF Voron have no control over this. It's all just run by Jiggy. And it is just a random draw. So I think we're just going to hit that button and it's going to show a name. So should we do it?
Drum roll.
There's a bit of delay, I think, between us and YouTubers there. So I don't know.
Yeah, that is.
So that's only just come on a good 30 seconds later, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know what that means exactly, other than if you're on, I guess we'll just wait to see if somebody comes online. Should we go for it anyway?
Do it. Let's do it.
Are we doing it? Uh-oh.
Let's do it. Should we go countdown for 3? 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yes,
I've
I'm ready to draw.
entered.
Okay, draw winners.
Winner.
Draw
Winner.
winners successfully. Just a sec.
Just
Oh
a
my god,
sec.
I'm actually really nervous. Oh,
I saw Ross May.
Ross May.
Ross May.
I feel like I've seen Ross May in the comments.
Ross May.
we've got
Is
a
Ross May here?
May.
Yes,
Why,
Ross May
why
is
is
in the
why is
comments.
it doing this?
Yay!
Ross May.
Yeah, I don't know why
Good
it's doing it, but shall I just
Ross.
stop? They will stop
Congratulations, Ross.
General region of the world where you're at. Are you willing to share? Congrats.
Yeah, where are you, Ross? Congratulations! Oh, that's wicked that he's here.
Yeah, where are you, Ross?
It's
In
Ferris.
New Jersey.
Ferris.
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Amazing.
Awesome.
Is that near Alabama? I have no idea.
No, but that's an easy plane flight.
Okay.
That's a whole lot closer to you than me.
Yeah.
I kind of want to patch. can we
Congrats,
patch
Ross.
Ross in somehow or not? Ross, May, time to rewire the house. Time to build an extension. I don't know.
Yeah, where are you going to put the printer, Ross? You got a space for it? Conveniently cleared already.
What is the process from here in general? Just in general.
Don't really know. We will work out how to ship it to Ross, basically, and then
I have a child I can evict, he said.
this is it's
awesome.
Yeah, this is amazing. I kind of want to ask Ross a million questions, but we'll probably do that offline.
Yep.
That's a good idea.
But no, that's very, very exciting. And yeah, Ross, we will be in contact to sort out logistics and chat to you about everything.
Yeah, and Ross, Smurf, the Sanjay Mortimer Foundation will pass me your contact info as well. And actually, if you're on our Discord, just send me a DM there, and you and I can go back and forth on all of that to get you set up and whatnot.
Yeah. No, exciting. What are you doing? Trying to find?
I've got him here. I'm just adding him on Discord.
Ah,
just another
go.
way of communication. Don't ask me anything about the printer or anything technical because I will have zero idea. I'm happy to help with logistics.
Well, that's very exciting. So yeah, I guess that pretty wraps it up. Unless people want to stay on and continue having a chat. Any further questions for Steve or Doc, really?
Any other questions come up while we were chatting there that we can answer?
Yeah, I guess, once it's all set up, Ross, I think the general consensus is they'd love to track your progress, see how you're getting on with it. How much was raised, somebody's asked. Yeah, it was $16,325, which is just absolutely amazing. We are, as the SMF, so grateful. And I think you probably missed the beginning bit, but yeah, I'm sorry you haven't won, but you have contributed to what I feel and we all feel here today as an incredible cause in supporting neurodiverse young people within STEM. So yeah, we're so grateful. Thank you so much to everybody.
We have had a couple of questions come in. Steve and Doc, what's the weirdest bug you've come across during the Phoenix Liberty development? You guys able to answer that?
So what I will say is Input Shaper is not exactly used to dealing with a gantry that weighs as like 20 pounds. So you do have to take the sweep out a fair bit further than what normal default for Clipper is. So that's one thing that took a lot of just poking at. That was the one big thing software-wise that I noticed.
I think, not talking about bug, but I think the biggest thing that wasn't necessarily anticipated is when you have a large printer like this, 600 millimeters on an axis, and the gantry is moving, managing the filament path has been the biggest unanticipated challenge in Phoenix, because that filament has to go along a path that's not going to get tangled during the full extent of its ability to move. And that amount of guide tubing, PTFE tubing, or whatever adds a not insignificant amount of friction. So from the first prototype shown to now, the filament path is significantly different. So it's very different from even this machine, and that's one of the major updates that'll be made available to Ross right away, is the parts to shorten that filament path.
Yep, it is. We went through numerous iterations on filament pathing and things like that. I still have a lifetime supply of IGUS chains in my workshop, because originally it was going to use chains on all axes for wire management, and needless to say, we moved away from those, unfortunately.
Someone asked, the GPs asked if there would be a Trident version of Phoenix, because Phoenix is not really a Voron 2, but it does use the same basic motion system. No, because that would require me having enough room, or somebody having enough room in their garage to build a Trident version of Phoenix, and that's not going to happen.
Yep.
So,
okay, cool.
what else do we have?
Anything else in there?
I saw someone. Oh, when is Phoenix coming out? So we are working very hard. There is the part of being a volunteer group is this kind of thing comes in surges as people have time and motivation, and there is a surge going on right now, is as much as I'll say. There's a pretty hefty surge. We have additional beta testers on board, more machines being built. We definitely want more than one, more than two, more than three machines out there actually working before we release a design. So it is getting closer than it's ever been before.
Yep.
Going in the right direction. There are a couple more. Any aspects of Phoenix going to trickle down to the V2 and or Trident? And will Voron put out a trailer of the Phoenix to see what it can do?
So, Steve, I'll let you talk about if there's going to be any trickle down.
I don't know that there's necessarily anything specific I can point to, but there are things definitely as we learn, as we get experience and try different techniques. I'm sure there are things about that'll get applied down, that could be applied to the rest of the lineup. There are a couple of little things in the tool head that can be applied to that. So.
Yeah, and as far as a trailer of the Phoenix to show what it can do, when we get closer to release, yes, there will be. And then do we expect someone to make kits for it? Yes, we do. I mean, something like this, it's not going to be cheap. Don't get me wrong, no matter what. You're looking at several $1,000s in parts, even if you figure in kit economies of scale. So, and then also there's the whole component of, will this even fit in your house? When I was moving this to crate it up in my garage, the only door it would fit through in my house was my front door, and that was only after I took the electronics backpack off of it. So it is large, and it will probably need to live, or you will probably need to have it live somewhere in your garage or somewhere else in your house that you don't have to navigate doors with.
Yeah. It will not fit through it will not fit through a standard doorway. Truly. I mean, we've always teased about a 350 and above being difficult to manage, walking around and moving it between rooms. This is impossible to move between rooms
Yes.
without disassembly.
I mean, that's one way to fix it, Ross, although you got to remember most studs in the United States are 16 inches on center. So that's even smaller than a door. So just maybe talk with your friendly local contractor to make sure you're not going to knock something structural out with that effort.
I can't wait until this is no longer our responsibility. Take it off our hand.
No, can we bring a bit negative? Can we focus on the positives, please?
It's done now.
Got a unique, amazing printer that you're going to do amazing things with, and you're one lucky man because there are a lot of people that bid on this. So.
Ross is going to get it into a basement. It looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
And you mentioned, Doc, we navigated stairs in Oxford.
Yep.
But that took 4 people, and that was
sketchy.
Safety folks probably were looking the other way.
Yes.
We were distracting them.
Yeah, Ross. I said I would help you convert it and update it. I never said anything about helping you move it.
What are the exterior dimensions? I don't know exactly. I've known at some point, but I couldn't tell you off the top of my head what the exterior dimensions are. It's big. It's about this big by about this big by taller than me on its stand.
Ross said he's going to post the entry to the basement in the general Voron Discord channel. We very much look forward to seeing that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think there's a few wives that are breathing a sigh of relief. Yeah. Well, that's brilliant.
Okay.
Any other questions or anything else that the SMF team want to touch on before we let everyone get back to their days and their weekend?
Yeah, don't put me on the spot like that. I guess
Sorry.
We're working hard behind the scenes to plan Smurf for next year. But yes, anybody that joined us or contributed to that for 2024, thank you so much. There's a little overview video on our YouTube page if you haven't seen it. But yeah, it was a massive, massive success. And so including this, gosh, if we'll be at about £97,000, I think. That include
not bad.
So I've included the Voron in the numbers for Smurf, and I think we would have hit about £97,000 raised for the SMF.
That's awesome.
That's before costs, but yeah, it's cost smosh. So we are so grateful. I mean, it's just the most epic response, and I couldn't even dream that it would be that high. So I'm absolutely over the moon. Somebody's saying, where is Smurf this year? I wish I knew, but I don't know yet. We've just started the process.
I keep saying to Sheila, actually, we need to start working on this already. So we've given ourselves 17 days of the new year, and probably next week we'll start thinking about it seriously.
I know I've been doing a lot this week actually.
Okay,
yeah, so I have some ideas, but yeah, if anybody has any clever ideas or would like to host us for free, that would be great. Let me know. Come to Wales, yeah.
No, there's loads in the US. It's gonna stay in the UK.
Can't do Smurf in the US. That's just not right.
It's
not.
Yeah, this is Smurf is for over here somewhere, definitely.
Yes.
But very grateful. Smurf was a huge success this year and last year. So yeah, it's great. There will be another one for sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Great. Well, I mean, that's it from us today. If you guys want to finish on anything.
No, just thank you everyone for being a part of this. Thank you for all of you guys and girls and whoever else opening your wallets to, give to this great cause. I've said before, as someone with ADHD, this is very much near and dear to my heart. It's a case of there, but for the grace of God, go I, in terms of the fact that I've been able to be professionally and personally successful having ADHD, but I had a great support system behind me. Not everyone has that. So the ability to give back, and as I said, realize that there, but for the grace of God, go I, able to give back and help other people change their lives has been a phenomenal part of my own life as well. So thank you very much, everyone, for all of this, and just continue doing awesome things. That's all I've got.
And I'm just saying to say, keep coming up with those crazy ideas, Adam, because they are amazing. So yeah, thank you, Voron team, from the bottom of our hearts. We're so grateful, and everybody that voted today, bid today. Yeah, all right.
Yeah,
I think
thank
we'll
you.
leave you.
Thank you so
Take
much,
care.
everyone.
Bye.
Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, Adam and Steve. Bye.